My content is for 13 and up, or adult collectors of the product. We've got the new Helios, now it's time to Quadstrike! Hello everyone, and for this video, we'll be reviewing the Beyblade Burst Quadstrike, Komet Helios, and Tidal Pandora Epic. Also make sure to comment your thoughts. Now here is the back of the box. I have quite a bit to say, and yeah, let's open it and just take a look. Now going over to our part by part, we have our Pandora Epic. I hate that name so much. So obviously, if you ever notice, anytime you look at a Pandora, it is the eye there. I think they just did a really generic design for this whole elements thing. Slopes on all the Pandoras are probably going to be the exact same, and they're just changing like the name of it. Feels just okay. It's just maybe kind of close to Valtryek, nowhere near Kerbeus, Poseidon, or some of the really top ones. But yeah, it's okay. Maybe even Valtryek could be pushing it. I think just maybe a little bit above average. We get our blade, by the way, I keep on forgetting to mention this, but it is a Hasbro exclusive, which is really weird to talk about, but yeah, we get Tidal. So it's kind of like this Valtryek shape. The issue is what we can see right here. It's hollow, it's not really filled in. The attacks can kind of work if you have G13. If you don't have G13, just forget about it. It's really low tier without G13. It can kind of smack. This kind of feels to me kind of like, I don't know, just whatever. It doesn't really, it's not that consistent on hitting art. It can hit decently. It struggles against opposite spin stuff, but can kind of do same spin. Just meh. You get your gravity ring and your disc. Nothing special about these parts, they're just repeated, boring, not really that good. Moving on. You then after have Just, and you have the armor tip right here. So the armor tip has an interesting shape, and by interesting I mean they're almost always the exact same shape. I do miss Hypersphere and they kind of did vary, but at least, I don't know, this kind of looks like it'd be like on Tidal, I guess. So probably at least in that stadium, you can get some use out of it. Really, any of the armor tips in QS really just kind of all suck to me. Which I guess they're only really meant in a really a QS in that regard. Otherwise, yeah, let's just weigh the parts now. The chip is about 4.49. The blade is about 6.82, so it is pretty light. 1.5, 24.46, 5.76, 3.92, 9.7 almost. 46.94. Yeah, and then after assembled, apparently this is what the box wants you to look like. I don't know if I'm going to show another shot where it's how I thought it was, which was like the other way, which to me is the proper way, but whatever, if they want to have it like that, they can. High mode. All right, moving on. Now moving on to our next bay, we have Helios. We have Helios once again. Alrighty, so obviously, you know we gotta do it on a side-by-side. Yeah, this is clear as day to which is which. Dear God, what a lack of, really a lack of paint. It's technically better, at least on the blade, for the paint job, but in general, it's like lacking so much. Also, I gotta ask, but what's with like the weird like yellow here? Like blue. Or even silver. Silver would have made sense if they wanted to at least do it. I would have been accepting for silver. I don't know why the yellow here. It kind of blends weird. So it almost looks like it's like greenish from far away. But some good news. It's better than Basilisk, and by a decent amount. I might put this kind of Phoenix-ish kind of for how it feels. So say goodbye to Basilisk, Nidhogg, and Achilles. Helios is what you should probably be using on your left stuff. So there is at least something there of semblance that we can actually take from that. Komet's sad, bro. Komet is sad as hell. Okay, so before we even get to the side-by-side with TAKARA TOMY, okay, here's basically what it is. It sucks for stamina, same and opposite spin. For attack, it can kind of work, same spin against like left stuff. Against right stuff, it kind of does struggle a bit, but can kind of work. It needs G13 in order to work, but I don't know. It has some kind of use there, but there are better options, if that makes sense. But in terms of like Hasbro only and QD/QS, this is probably one of your best options. In general, not so much. No, dude, look at how they butchered this. First of all, you could be blind, and you could still see the difference between these two. I don't even need my glasses for this one. Look at how much smaller this is. Look at it. Look at it. What happened? Is this Helios Jr.?
No.
Oh my God.
20% cut of the investors.
Yeah, this is pathetic. Also, here's another L. Did you know that King, by the way, it's a whole thing with like a pun or whatever in the name in Japanese, but did you know that it was actually dual spin? And in here, it's not dual spin, it's left only. Wow, and you know what else? There was this whole system of the fusion gimmick, which by the way, there are people that really just like to ride on Hasbro and just like defend no matter what. Listen, if Artemis, Apollo, whatever the names are, I don't even care what the actual Hasbro names were, if they could do it with these plastic ones, they could have done it with the Quadstrike ones. And let's just say, actually, well, know what, how they designed it, you know, it couldn't actually work. Well, then that's an L on that part for the system design. Taking away such a cool aspect of combining it like with Hyperion, the whole Super King fusion stuff. What an L, what an L. The other parts, look, they're supposed to be rubber, no rubber. They're supposed to be metal, no metal. And even worse, what hurts this a lot, especially for attack, is that they rounded off a lot of the major contact points. So not only do you basically get smaller, you get a less aggressive release. So for Komet, I'm very disappointed in that regard. Like, yes, it can kind of have that use, but it's like, come on, bro, come on. I want to be honest with you too. I don't know how they messed this up. It's like, it's insane. They gave it 2 and FQ. They literally just had to give some 10 clone. I would have accepted that, like with Gambit, and Giga. FQ is like an okay disc, but like what's with them not just putting like the original on there? Next up, we get Zeal, which is Zeal times 2. Is it supposed to be Zeal? Yeah, it is. It's just the Q. Okay. So look at how they did the shape here for it. So this is kind of supposed to represent like the bottom of Zeal, I guess, and like I don't know what this is supposed to be, but they both kind of have the shape. Now, some good news here, even though it's like technically just another weird ballish shape, it does kind of have some decent stamina on this. So for the base, not too bad. At least same spin stamina, I'll say that much. Opposite, I'm not gonna bother. But the thing is with the original Zeal 1 free spinning dish on here, could kind of work an opposite spin, could kind of work same spin for stamina. It's pretty exceptional in that regard. And even KO defense, even if it wasn't 100% in that regard. Here they kind of just split it, and the attachment again is just another generic flat when you get to here. I do wish it just had a little bit of a more interesting shape. I think my issue with QS is that this part here is almost always the same compared to other stuff, when like the rest is a little bit different how they try to do it, but yeah. Helios is 4.61 Hasbro, TAKARA TOMY is about 7.08. Komet is about 7 grams versus 15 grams, 15.71. That means that either half of this weighs more than the actual one. 2 is 1.58, FQ is 24.9, Giga TT is 32.39, the 10 is about 13.26, Zeal is about 6.65. I'm calling this Zeal, I don't actually know what they would have called it. Hasbro Zeal is 5.61, 3.92, 9.51. In total, this weighs about 47.6 grams versus a total of about 75.10 grams. Now, when you do side by side, it's so clear, man. I'm really hurt by the shape of this. Like, they made it smaller and they rounded it off. I think there's another time, I think it was like Geist or something, where it's like bigger than the actual TAKARA TOMY one. Yeah, I'm not really a fan here. And of course, without the armor tip on here. Anyways. High mode. Alright. Alright, let's just move on now. You gotta say that for Helios in general, I think it's gotten, I guess, slightly better. You know, slightly better, but I think in general, for a lot of this stuff, it's been really rough since the transition of Hasbro's cut costs. So we're already here, let's do the test launch. Okay, very cool. Yeah, now go to town, go to town. This is where we get to do the high mode. I usually give up on the high mode stuff recently, but no, here I'll make the exception. Okay, now normal, 3, 2 on the rip. Okay, look at it go, look at it go. Okay, honestly, the way that it's making that green look, it's It's really bothering me, I don't know why. Alright, well, Helios. Try to beat it, I guess. Yeah, especially with like things like this, it's always, I don't know. It's always weird just seeing them battle. I'm just used to the QS attachments now. Alright, let's do our test launch. 3, 2, on the rip. Okay, 3, 2 on the rip. Oh, it's balanced because it's got the fusion shape. No wonder. I was like thinking, wait, what's going on? Why isn't it moving more? I didn't even realize it had the fusion shape. Well. Oh, it's blue versus blue. Oh. I don't even think I win here, which is going to be the funny part. Oh no, I did it. Alrighty. We got Fierce Basilisk against Komet Helios. Oh, you see, I'm kind of getting the movement that I wanted now. It's a shame that it's not really good for much. We got Nidhogg. One for both will be against Excalius. Whoa! You see, Excalius always like makes the battles that next level that we need. So it's always doing the extra mile to make sure the videos are entertaining. Okay, well, yeah, that about sums up my thoughts. Before we forget, against TAKARA TOMY. I don't know what it's gonna do, but it's gonna die, I guess. Yeah, it's gonna die. QR codes at the end. So final thoughts. Is this 2-pack worth getting? So really the highlight for this is going to strictly be on the Helios. The Helios has a lot more to offer than the Tidal Pandora. For a tight chip and kind of okay-ish less spin attack. If let's say you only have QSQD only, then you know, at least Komet has a bit more use in that regard. Otherwise, yeah, you could probably just pass up on Komet. Tidal is very disappointing. There's nothing really special about it. It's very just kind of poor in performance. Aside from that, I guess also the Helios base performance tip has some decent-ish stamina. And eventually you'll see on our testing channel the full testings for the 2-pack and all that other stuff. But yeah, it's either for kind of, I guess, the Helios or you really skip on it. I'm leaning towards you either just maybe wait to go get it, but if you wanted to skip, you're not missing out too crazy, I would say. Anyways, that's where we're going to be ending off this video. Please, if you are new here, subscribe to the channel with bell notifications on. Let me know your thoughts, and that'll be it for now. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day, and bye.